We're live. We're live.
I was going to say, it's just going to be an awkward minute of
It's just an awkward.
everyone not saying anything.
No, we're definitely live now. We're definitely live. I like the dislike as well. Is that you, Andy?
It was not me. I mean, I could add a second dislike.
Oh, okay. Hello, everyone, and welcome to the first ever live streamed version of the Spawn Point. We're hoping this isn't a massive disaster. I really hope it's not. But as always, we're joined with Andy and Ebbie.
Hello, everyone in chat.
Hello to the person that disliked.
Hi, by the way.
Yeah. So in this episode, we're going to be talking about Fallout 4, which Ebbie was like extremely excited for. She saw a screenshot and she freaked out. We're going to also be talking about E3, not just like what's been shown at E3 and what we think of the lineup, but also the build-up in the weeks that have just happened, that have been, coming up to this event, and also a few of our predictions that are left that we've still got.
There's basically none.
Yeah, we'll get to that though. But before all of that, how have your weeks been? What games have you been playing? Well, I know what games you've been playing, but if you want to tell people watching what you've been playing the entire week.
Oh my god. Splatoon, a lot of Splatoon, and a bit of Not a Hero actually, but yeah, mainly Splatoon.
Yep, Splatoon, and Zelda.
I hear everybody loves paintbrushes. That's our friend.
I think that's a false statement.
That's everyone's new favourite weapon, and pork mackerel as well. Loves that.
Yeah, that's not true.
Yeah, pretty much Splatoon. The entire week has just been Splatoon, basically. Other than that, what have you been up to? Ebbie's been cleaning a room, from what I've gathered.
Yeah, I've changed now. I've changed location. It's not pile boxes behind me. Everything's clean now. I played IRL Splatoon, and if I disappear halfway through the stream, it's because my computer is bugged.
Yeah, I'm not sure how much everyone can hear it, but if you can hear a really loud fan, that's Ebbie's computer slowly dying, apparently. Apparently I'm lagging a bit, Matt, but...
You are, or I am?
You are.
You are.
Oh, okay.
That's fine.
It'll be fine, it'll be fine. Andy, how's your week been? What have you been up to?
I've obviously been not cleaning up, because this place is always clean. That everyone can see. Yeah, I've been playing Not a Hero, which I've actually been quite enjoying, to be honest. So it's sort of a side scroller it's got a massive British theme on it, and it was set around the elections time. And if anyone was here in England, you probably saw like people saying, "Vote Bunny Lord." Don't actually throw away your vote, but vote Bunny Lord anyway. And it's got a really good sense of humour in it. And it's the only game I think that I've ever found a Welsh person in. But it's
You haven't played Ni no Kuni then.
Is
Ni no Kuni's got a Welsh person in.
Is it a Welsh lady that shoots and dies?
No, it's this like plush animal that comes to life called Mr. Drippy, and he's really Welsh.
My name's Mr. Drippy.
But it's really cool. Like you're basically trying to help Bunny Lord win the election and become the sort of mayor of London or mayor of England, and it's like there's this factory of drug lords. Obviously, no one likes drug lords, so we're just going to kill them all because everyone will like me and vote for me in the election. And it's all stupid stuff like that. And when you're done, we can go to the cafe for breakfast.
Oh, yeah.
That game looks kind of fun.
Yeah, I tried it out at Rezzed for a little bit, but I haven't actually got a copy of the game.
The only thing is, like, when you got to slide into cover and actually use cover. And like, if you jump out of the cover and you can't go straight back into the same place, you have to sort of slide to the next bit. So that can be a bit annoying sometimes. But other than that, I've been really enjoying that one. But yeah, have you been playing much, Matt?
I've been trying to get over the fact that my hairdresser did a really shitty job of my hair. Basically, for those who don't know, I've been going to the same hairdresser for about 6 to 7 years. And I usually have the same guy always cut my hair. and he was busy. So there's a new person who I've never seen it before. I was like, oh, and I'll have someone different cut my hair. It'll be fine. That was a big mistake. And there was a TV in the hairdressers, and so I was just watching that, not paying attention. And by the time I realised, it was too late because half of it was already cut to that length. So I couldn't exactly go, could you just grow that back for me?
Yeah.
So and then the hairdresser said, I guess you might need to get it cut again for a while, which didn't help the situation. So I got my money back. But other than that, I've been playing ridiculous amounts of Splatoon. I think I checked my Wii U, I played 45 hours of Splatoon.
Yeah, I'm about the same sort of time as well.
And like you both capped at level 20 now, haven't you? And whereas I'm 15,
and now I'm
I
just getting coins now. I'm gonna get burnt out, I reckon, if they don't add more soon.
And so far, I haven't really played that much ranked, and I've been.
You're not missing out on much.
I enjoyed I've played about 5 games of ranked, and I've won the majority of them.
I'm not keen on Splat Zone at all. I'm really not. Because the first time I went in there, no one knew what they were doing, and we completely lost. It was like 100 points to 0 or something, so they won. You start off with like 100, as far as I understand, and it counts down. We didn't get a single second tick down off of that.
Oh man, if the people know how to play it well, it actually goes there's, I can't remember what the map is, the skate park, whatever that one's called, but it's got the 2 zones. That is actually a super fun one. Whereas like Port Mackerel, it's got 1 if I remember rightly.
Yeah.
That isn't as fun. I prefer the 2 mini zones instead of just the 1.
I hate Port Mackerel.
I was okay with Port Mackerel for a bit, and then I changed to a gun from a roller, so it wasn't as efficient anymore. When you're a roller, it's quite good. When you're not,
guys, screw your gun. Screw the gun that you use.
The aero spray RG.
I got one yet, and
I got 1,500 points with that thing. It was pretty good.
Right.
Yeah, so we've been playing a crazy amount of Splatoon. All right, this is what happens. You do it live. We've been playing a crazy amount of Splatoon, and that's basically been Kinross's life, definitely, for the last week.
Kinross.
Yeah, but what also happened this week, in between all of that?
The most important thing, more important than anything that will happen in this universe ever.
burn your video games, people, because Fallout. Actually, don't do that. That's a terrible advice. But Fallout 4 has been finally confirmed. And I want to just call back to, I can't remember what episode it was, maybe you'll know, where we had the bet, and it was Fallout 4 is not coming out, I think Andy said. I was like, if it comes out, and I made a bet.
Yeah, I called him out, I made a bet, and he worded the bet wrong, so I won the bet.
That's why you've got to have written agreements when you do bets, that's why.
Or when you record it, you just don't say something stupid. And,
if it gets announced ever. I don't even say that exactly.
No, I think I rewatched it just to clarify, and the precise terms and conditions were, if the game comes out, then you win. It's like that is not helpful, Andy. Why
so I
guess do this?
Technically, I don't win until whenever the game comes out, but it's coming out, and you didn't think it would.
So. Yeah, episode 31, around I think about 27 minutes it is.
And then also further back than that, when we're talking this time last year about E3, you said that you wanted it to be announced, but you don't think it will be. Which is interesting because now it's finally. Because I think I remember talking to you on Skype at one point. I think we were doing a video for Alien Isolation, and I said, so don't think Fallout 4 will ever come out anytime soon? You said, no, I think, I don't really think they're gonna, this was like the end of last year, so not too long ago.
We're just getting called out for everything now, isn't it? And all of these times that you were wrong, because Matt has a memory so long that he's like an elephant. He never forgets anything that you ever say, so good luck with ever getting anything getting away with anything.
Yeah, wrecked Andy. Got wrecked. But there are a couple of things we still haven't really seen. People think that there's there's some half of the trailer there's meant to be gameplay, or people think that's gameplay. Most people, that seems to be the general consensus. But we haven't seen like a 15 to 20 minute gameplay demo, which we're obviously going to see at E3. It hasn't been confirmed. It's rumored, but at this point, what they're going to do, show another trailer.
I mean, they're going to be stupid if they don't show actual like gameplay footage at E3 after just saying, "Hey, you know what? It's been announced." I hope they do something.
I mean, we were expecting a trailer at E3, not this early. So
I'm really disappointed though, because I would have been on the floor crying if they had just dropped it on us at E3. And they were just like, "Oh, please stand by," and I'm like, "Well, they're going to announce Fallout 4 then, aren't they? Clearly."
Can we just say how badly done that was?
Yeah. It was really awkward as well, because it had "please stand by" and it didn't actually update properly. So, I was sat there thinking, and I'm sure other people were, going, "Is this for real? Have they just trolled us? Is this actually gonna be announced? Have they just messed with our heads?" And then, it was actually out. But I would have loved it if they they have their press conference and they don't even, sometimes the less you say, the better. So if they just said something like, you might wondering what other games, leave it for the very last thing so people think, oh, maybe it's not going to be.
Well, just pull an Apple. Just one last thing.
Yeah, but no, not by that. But just say, now if you're wondering if those are all of our games we had to show today, we have got one. There's one extra thing. No, but they go, we've got something very special to show you. We hope you'll enjoy it. And then they walk off the stage. Then the trailer hits. Boom! How impactful.
And then they come back on with a Wii U controller and nothing else, and confirm the NX for some strange reason.
Luckily for me, the website didn't work as it should have, but Stinus, who's in chat, linked me to a private video earlier, like an hour before, and it was
so you saw the trailer
look, they've got...
early?
No, because it was a private video. I just had the link to it.
Oh, yeah, sorry.
Which I kept open while that tab wasn't working, so closed that tab, refreshed that, and then went back to the thing just to make sure I hadn't missed anything.
Wasn't it they made it unlisted by accident, and then so people started grabbing screen grabs of stuff? I'm sure that.
Yeah, I definitely saw an article on that.
I hate it when people do that. It's like, it's going to be announced in an hour. Can you wait, maybe?
Yeah. It's like, we were already kind of disappointed that it was being announced this early, and you're looking for leaks for an early expected announcement. It's like, well...
It's just how to screw everything
up. I still looked at it. I was still like, God, man. Saw that image and I was like, it's good.
So now I know yesterday, a chat was saying that you recorded a permadeath episode where you're talking about E3. So and you talked a bit about it there, but I really wanna see this Fallout game after that trailer. Now I think it'd be really interesting if there's part of the game that's before all of the sort of nuclear apocalypse happens. Oh, Ebbie's putting her hand up.
Can I, sir? Yeah, is that okay, sir?
Go for it.
Speak, child.
This may potentially be a spoiler, so if you don't want to hear it, just maybe turn down for a minute. But there was, after the Survivor 2299, which was a big hoax, every Fallout fan got real sad about it. About a day later, there was another leak that no one paid much attention to because it happened just after we'd found out that the Survivor 2299 was fake. And this leak was on Kotaku, and it was a leaked casting call script. The script has the image of the protagonist from the trailer on the top of it. It's been out for about a year now. And they mention... there's some lines in there, some dialogue that basically says, "I'm scared for my wife and my infant son." It was the wife and the infant son in the trailer, obviously. And it seemed like that all took place pre-war. So the idea of that is that when they enter Vault 111, they are put into cryogenic sleep, So you live pre-war, you go into the vault and get put in cryogenic sleep until the game takes place, I think, was the idea of...
But one thing can I say about leaks, and I mentioned this, I was looking on Reddit, and people were just trying to decode all sorts of stuff. Now, before the game actually after they had the Please Stand By website, during the waiting time for that, somebody pointed out, and I'm so surprised that this hadn't been brought to anyone's attention sooner, but you can look up domains and see when they were established, when they were created, when who owns it. ZeniMax Online, or ZeniMax Media, whatever they're technically referred to as, they claimed the domain fallout4.com 4 days after Fallout 3 was announced. Not released, announced. Now, that whole entire time, that's 11 years ago, and there were people out there, like Andy, who were like, Fallout 4's not coming out.
I knew it was going to come out because they bought the rights to Fallout, and they did that for a reason.
And they also said that it was going to be more than one game, didn't they? Because they said they were.
Yeah, I suppose they got New Vegas, but does that really count since it wasn't ZeniMax?
That doesn't count because it wasn't by Bethesda Game Studios, it was by Obsidian, so no one counts that as a Bethesda GameWorks game. And they seem to be going for the thing where they'll chop and change, so they'll go Fallout game, new Elder Scrolls, new Fallout, new Elder Scrolls.
Now, just jumping back to what you're saying about the male protagonist, essentially, we have in this game. How do you guys feel about the fact that it might be just a male protagonist, and whereas generally, like all of the other games, all of the other Fallout games have given you the option to pick the gender, the age, and everything, and especially like all of the other like Obsidian or Bethesda games, not Obsidian, Bethesda games let you customize all of that. So
you've got pretty big character creation with most of their games.
If it's going to be a male character,
but do we actually know that at this point? Because people were saying the fact that the protagonist speaks, that could mean it for the game, but this could just be for the trailer. That hey, this is. I mean, it is probably quite heavily implied that this is the character you'll be playing as, but there is also the fact. Okay, yeah, there's picking. I think it depends on if there is voice. If your character speaks, then I think it will just be male, because I feel like they wouldn't spend time doing different voices for all of the dialogue.
I feel like,
and also Fallout 4 different options. If you've got to think about, like in Fallout 4, Fallout 3, we haven't played it yet. Fallout 3, where you're like you can choose what to say. Your character's gonna have to speak that. Think about how many lines of dialogue that is.
Mass Effect did it.
Yeah,
Saints Row did it. A lot of games have done it.
Saints Row has got a number of voice chats as well.
There's 3 male, 3 female, and then like a joke voice.
And then zombie.
Yeah.
Which is awesome.
I feel like if they are going for the voice protagonist route, they will not half-arse it, and if if you can choose between a female and a male, they'll voice both of them.
I don't want to sacrifice customization options that people enjoy.
Yeah.
Like, I can change my face. I can change this. I can, people like to be able, because a lot of Fallout is about choice. The thing about do you nuke Megaton, stuff like that. It's you're taking away choice if you don't, because part of the choice is choosing how your character looks. So if you don't have that choice there, it's like you're taking away part of what makes Fallout so great. It's not.
I'm personally kind of like, my biggest concern with that trailer was the voice at the end, because it doesn't confirm whether I can play as a girl for a start.
Yeah, that's
I always do. And also, like, that voice would take away from my immersion of that game a little bit, because when I play role-playing games, I like to get super immersed and kind of role-play in a way, like pretend that is me in the game. But if I hear some other lady's voice, I'll know that that's not me, and that will like be a barrier for me personally.
Although
not for everyone.
I would like to, because there's like The Witcher 3 is an RPG where
I was just about to say this.
I was going to ask how your thoughts on it, Andy, about do you feel like if if you weren't in third person in The Witcher, or if you just customized your character instead in The Witcher 3, would it take away anything in terms of immersion? Because it'd be very. I feel like it'd be even more difficult.
So I don't know. I feel like in something like The Witcher 3, it's already got sort of the world already made up, and the fact that the other two games were this one specific character and you're playing as them. I feel like they had to, if they'd have just made generic character for The Witcher 3, I'm not sure if it would work as well, especially as you know he's already got all of the lore behind him and everything. But stuff like Fallout, and like all of the Elder Scrolls games as well, they've given you just the option to be who you want to be. And I think it might just take something away from it. Just because of the way they put their games together. Because you don't go into one of them for the combat, because I mean, thank God Vaps was in Fallout, because I thought the combat was garbage in the last two games. So you don't do it for that, and it's just the character. I feel that you can just try and personalize them.
I do want to point out that I've seen several people say this. Well, more than several people. People saying, because I've seen in the chat, maybe the dog's the protagonist. Because lots of, I've got a good point about the dog, actually. Not about it being the protagonist, but I think it's safe to say that definitely won't happen.
I have an argument against it. Dog's not wearing a Pit Boy.
Yeah.
Yeah. Dog's also not wearing the Vault 101.
But also, if you analyse the way that the trailer's presented and you kind of look at the way the dog's introduced, it's more treated as like a companion than the focal point of. And
there's also been other companions in dog companions, because there was dog meat, and I think it was, I can't remember if it's Fallout 1 or 2 though, you had a dog companion as well.
Weren't they called dog meat as well?
Citation needed on that, maybe.
The dog in New Vegas was called Rex, and it was half
was it
cyborg. Yeah.
Oh, maybe I'm confusing it with like Fallout 1 then.
But Fallout New Vegas was Rex. Fallout 3 was dog meat.
Right.
You know the whole thing with the dog. A good point actually with the dog is that, you know, people were saying, oh well, it's all like cinematic, pre-rendered or whatever. Somebody pointed out that if they wanted to really say that these weren't close to the graphics you get in the game, then they would have made like the fur on the dog, you know, like The Witcher, they would have had like dynamic hair flailing. If you look at the dog, doesn't actually look that great like the fur. So why would it, you know, that makes me think, obviously the beginning bit is not in game, but there's certain bits in that trailer that make you think, yeah, this probably is, you know, some of this must be like actual gameplay footage, but just very short snippets.
Yeah, that's what I thought when I watched it the second time, because the first time I watched it, I was just like,
just fangirling, just freaking out.
But I watched it the second time, and I was like, this doesn't look like, in terms of graphical capabilities of things that we have now, it doesn't look that great. Like, it looks okay. It looks better than Fallout 3. It looks kind of like a Pixar movie in the pre-war sections to me.
Yeah, I give you that.
But I feel like maybe this was all like in game, like not just in engine, but like maybe legit.
They didn't do a Battlefront where it was like game engine footage. It's just like, what does that mean?
I'm pretty sure if you make a trailer that has just like in-engine footage, you have to put something on there so you're not selling a fake product or whatever.
Like,
nothing was on the trailer, so.
Like Game of War, where it's just like this massive cinematic.
I want to know. I want to know. What is it? Kate Upton or?
Yeah.
Yeah. Where's Kate Upton? I played that game. No, I didn't really. I spent all that money. Where's my Kate Upton? Yeah. Oh, I was just going to say, there's quite a lot of other stuff to talk about with E3.
We're moving on from Fallout already.
It's still Fallout related because, well, I want to talk about the build-up to...
The fallout of the pre-Fallout of E3.
The fallout of E3's announcements. They all fell out. So what did you guys think of the weeks leading up to E3, did you think they've done a good job of secrecy, or have they
No.
revealed their cards too early?
I feel like they've absolutely revealed everything far too early, because it's just like they went, oh, we've got something really good, and it's like when you buy someone a present and you're like, this present's really good, you can have it early because I just want to see your face. I can't keep this a secret. It's like that.
It's like if you got you got a Christmas present a week early, and then when it comes to Christmas, you're like, well, I've already opened my presents. What's so great about today?
So
well,
now,
obviously, it's more to Christmas than that, but yeah.
I've been thinking about this a bit, and I was chatting to Ebbie earlier about this, and I was like, well, maybe, this is like there's all these games like E3. There's loads of games that just coming at everyone in their face. Let's just ignore I said that.
We can't. It's live. This is a live episode. Remember. For those wondering why we've never done a live episode before, that's why.
And
continue. That's right.
And like, there's all these games just there at E3, and then some of them will get overshadowed by other stuff. So like, let's talk about Bethesda. If they like talked about like 5 different games, maybe I'm not saying they are going to. Like Fallout 4 is probably going to overshadow the rest of them. And if they announce it early, then it's had its day, and then Doom's had its day as well. And then when it comes to the press conference, if they've got something else there,
no one gave a shit about Doom comparison.
Sorry, can I just say it's hard to get excited about 3 seconds of.
Yeah.
I'm like, cool. I've seen 3 seconds of an enemy.
You know, I'd actually compare it to like if they did, say they opened up with Fallout and then carried on with the other stuff. I feel like it'd be that bit where the PS4's price was revealed at that E3. They revealed the price, and then they went on immediately to talk about like, oh, and we allow you to use games, and everyone was like, this is the best. And then they went, and now we're going to talk about online infrastructure. Like,
so exciting.
Like, so anticlimactic.
The thing is that I've found is that it's kind of part of the thing that makes E3 so great is that mystery of all of the companies being so secretive. It's also the fact of Bethesda have been able to done such a good job of keeping it a secret, but then there's the cinematic LinkedIn trailer leak, there's, leaked screenshot, but they, like, for quite a while, they've done a really good job of keeping it behind closed doors and making people unsure.
It's been out for about 3 years that it's going to be set in Boston because someone apparently MIT was like, Todd Howard's been here. You guys need to know this because they're setting Fallout in Boston.
But the thing is, though, is that we didn't actually know. That still was kind of considered a rumor, because people were, it's the same with like, leaked documents, all that. Everyone's like, is this fake? Is this real? I don't know.
I feel like after the Survivor 2299, everyone was really skeptical about anything that came out about Fallout.
Yeah. But I just kind of like when I watched E3 last year, there was things where I was like, oh cool, this game's been like they revealed Rainbow Six Siege. They've like this new game, and like what they showed, whether that's actually anything like the game that we get, it looked really cool because it was like you're in a house and there's these burglars and they're taking the woman who owns the house hostage, and you're going in and out all the rooms in the house and trying to do cat and mouse in a way, and trying to, take them out. And just lots of those things took me by surprise. Like Battlefield Hardline, I don't think people knew about that before E3. I feel like that was an announcement made there and then. People knew there was going to be some sort of Battlefield game, but they didn't know what. And yeah, I don't feel like that's as great. There's still a few things we don't know about, which I'm going to not say what I think they might be because I will leave that for predictions. But, the other thing was the Uncharted remastered trilogy, the Nathan Drake collection. That is another thing that got revealed early. And it's like, well, where's that excitement, that mystery of going, what are they going to say? Because when you used to watch E3, or at least I used to hang on their every word to what they might say next. And I'd be like, they just said that. What does that mean? Oh, they're about to show us a trailer. What trailer is it going to be? And I don't think we're getting that as much now. And I don't know why developers are doing that.
I've been live tweeting the past 3 E3s every time, every conference, and I've been so excited to do it. Like when The Division got revealed, I was fucking like on cloud nine. I thought it looked amazing because I'm really, really into post-apocalyptic games, and I'm just worried that I'm not gonna get that this E3. Like, I'm dead scared that the one thing that Ubisoft is gonna reveal is gonna be Watch Dogs 2, because I don't give a shit about Watch Dogs. Because they haven't.
Yeah.
No, I don't know. Anyway.
So we've got what we think is the definitive list of what's going to be at each conference. Some of these might not be true. They might not actually show up, but they're fairly set. Like, you know, it's expected for like quite a few of them. So Bethesda, we know there's going to be Doom. I wonder if they'll show 5 seconds this time. It's like, hey guys, here's another 5 seconds.
We might be lucky to get 6.
Oh, well, yeah, God. We've also got Fallout 4, Battle Cry, and Elder Scrolls Online is probably going to show something with that because that came out on consoles last week. Anything else you think there's Bethesda in there that I haven't mentioned?
2. I think Dishonored 2.
So the EA press conference has Mirror's Edge 2, that's basically definitely going to be there. Need for Speed, it's a reboot. It's the first time they've rebooted it since it came out first time 20 years ago, I think it was. Star Wars Battlefront, that's Battlefront 3. Mass Effect 4, that's EA. There might be other ones.
You missed out all the sports because they have an entire 20 minutes dedicated to fucking sports.
FIFA 16, because we know that's going to be a big surprise. FIFA 16.
Now they always talk about fucking Madden, don't they? And some UFC fighter bollocks.
Hang on. Let me just.
Hi, Matt.
I've already got FIFA 16. I don't know what you're talking about. It's exactly the same game.
No, it's got women in it.
No.
Oh, that's true.
It has.
Riot now.
Riot.
And everyone knows that women shouldn't be in football. I would just
let's just pause it there.
I would just like to point out I was being sarcastic there, and don't.
It's satire. If you didn't understand that satire, you're a baby. So Ubisoft. That's not Ubisoft. If you say that, I'll stab you with a fork.
Ubisoft, yeah.
Ubisoft. Assassin's Creed Syndicate, that's going to be there. The Division, Rainbow Six Siege, and I think that's all we know from them at the moment. They said there's also going to be a new title in development, which Watch Dogs 2 maybe. Maybe it's Just Dance 2016 or 20, whatever the bollocks is.
I reckon there'll be Rabbids, there'll be Just Dance. Everyone will be happy. Everyone will do dance.
The question is, right, when that's not just ignore that. Just ignore what I was saying.
Ignore. Do you just have a brain fart, Andy?
Sorry, I'm thinking about the wrong company. I'm thinking about Squeenix.
Squeenix, your trusty window cleaner. So that's we've got Bethesda, EA, Ubisoft, Nintendo. One of these I'm really afraid of pronouncing. Splatoon, not the game, but update events. Probably going to get some news on that. I would actually just like to ask, how long do you guys think that they will continue to keep releasing content? I don't mean how frequently, but when do you think they'll do it up until the end of the year, or do you think they'll just stop at August? Or
they branded it as a summer of free content, so I feel like August is probably going to be the last big one for. It's probably going to be drip fed to us until then. And then if they are going to put any more content in, it won't be as quickly. It might just be like another DLC pack like they did with Mario Kart.
Yeah, I feel like they're always going to support it in some way or another. And at least until the Wii U dies, which is apparently in this E3. So,
as much as I love Splatoon, there's one thing that really bugs me is when people say, "Oh, isn't it awesome that Nintendo are giving us free DLC?" And it's like, well, a lot of the stuff that we've already got is stuff that they made before release, but they've just held back from us and are now, you can't really complain because it's free, but it's not something to be like heavily praised. It's not like they've been working on it post-launch and then they're going, "Oh, we're going to give this away for free anyway." It's like cutting out half of your game and then going, we'll give you the rest of it, but drip feed it to you. Not necessarily I'm not trying to suggest that's a bad thing, but I don't think it's something that should be seen as, standing ovation, free DLC, because I don't really class it.
You know
as
what? But I think the way that Nintendo are doing it is actually fairly sensible, and I'm actually for it, because it's extending the life of the game almost. Because if they'd have just gone like day one, dump, here's everything in the game,
dump.
then people play it, they'll get bored of all of the content, and then it'll burn out really quickly, and then you have sort of the fatigue that Evolve and Titanfall had, whereas no one is talking about the game like a couple of weeks after launch. Whereas at least with Splatoon at the moment, we've just had rank mode unlocked, and then we've had an extra map.
We've had a couple of extra weapons.
A few extra weapons. And if they keep on doing that, then that's going to keep everyone like intrigued in it and actually wanting to play it over and over again. And it's just like, what's the paintbrushes going to be like? And then everyone found out that they were garbage. And then
it's not a paintbrush; it's actually an ink brush. I'd like to.
I am a bit worried about the lifespan of the game after August. But I am going to enjoy the game until then, at least. So.
At least. I was going to say, at least with it, like the single player modes, like that is actually I'm having fun with that, and I hope they put add-on content for single player as well.
I know, I really want that more than I want multiplayer stuff, because the single player was so much fun.
I mean, I'm about a third of the way through it now. I know you guys have completed it, but
the end of it just.
I just love to see some more of that, really.
I've got another question. Do you think, like me and Kinross had a little bit of a debate about this, but do you think they should increase the level cap at some point? Whether that be, because I understand if you haven't got content for those levels, then there's not a massive amount of point to introducing the levels, but it would be there's two things. It would be cool to see how many points you get after level 20, even though it doesn't contribute to anything, but just to see how much points you've got in total after that, to see how much you've accrued. But the other thing is that if they do introduce more levels, it would be good if, depending on how many, it remembers how many points you've got, and if it says, we've got 30 levels, if you've played a ridiculous amount, you jump up to level 25 or something, depending on how much you've already got. Otherwise, somebody who's just got to level 20, and somebody who's been to level 20 for a while and they've played 50 more hours, they're going to be at the same point when they introduce the level cap.
It'll be good for like
level doesn't mean anything though.
To a certain degree.
It means that you can unlock some more weapons. But
if everybody was level 20 in a lobby, it's like, how do you know whether it's balanced or not? Because some of those level 20s could have been level 20 for an hour. Some of them could have been for months,
I suppose like it depends if people have done ranked as well, because you'd be able to tell from like their B+, A+, or whatever. But if they don't play it, then there's no way of telling.
I think because there's going to be a point where everybody's going to be pretty much more or less level 20. Unless they get bored before that and stop playing, but the people that actively playing all the time are going to reach that, and then you kind of do need levels in a shooter as to some degree. Levels are a bit just a shallow thing to be like, oh hey, I'm this level, I'm that level, but it does actually keep life in those kind of games to have that.
I'd disagree with that in some way.
But if you just stayed level 20 and it said max, how long do you reckon you'd be?
If they're going to have levels in it, then yes, I agree with that. If there isn't any levels at all, then I disagree with that statement. Because then you can go back to stuff like Counter-Strike, which has never had any levels in it. There's no unlockable content. Yeah, it's still one of the most popular first-person shooters on Steam. And if we're going to like find Steam figures, then there'd be like thousands of people playing it.
I guess so. But yeah, I completely sidetracked from the fact that I was talking about what stuff Nintendo had. So Splatoon's obviously going to be talking about like the update events they've got coming. There's actually a Splatfest on the 22nd of June, I believe, which people can look forward to. Mario Maker, that's to be expected.
That got announced last year.
But they'll probably show more of it or something.
Bored of that now, Nintendo. Move on.
Xenoblade Chronicles X, probably maybe see a release date for it for UK?
That'd be nice. I'm really interested in seeing what they're going to do with the localization of that, because it's a giant JRPG. So it's out in Japan already. So maybe we'll see when that's going to come out. Hopefully this year.
Devil's Third.
Oh, that is.
This is the one I don't want to say.
Do you want me to say it?
Can you say it? Because I'm just going to make a fool of myself.
Shin Megami Tensei Crossfire Emblem.
Okay. That wasn't too bad.
Which looks super good, and I'm super excited about it.
So yeah, and also maybe not Star Fox. Who knows? Question mark. I guess we can kind of get to that in the predictions more about that. But yeah.
I really want them not to do anything with Star Fox, just to see Ebbie break down.
What, just so you can get your own back. You can get your own back on Fallout.
Fucking jump out of your window. I'll be so upset. I'll be upset.
You can jump out of the Britannia Hotel's window because it's not there.
It got replaced.
They fixed it
now.
Oh, really? Oh, okay.
They'll probably fall off again if you give it a good nudge.
So Microsoft, their press conference is going to consist mostly of first-party titles, supposedly. It was Crackdown, which is a reboot from the ones Crackdown 1 and 2 that were on Xbox 360. Halo 5 Guardians. Rise of the Tomb Raider, which is a timed exclusive for Xbox One. Quantum Break, Forza Motorsport 6, Gears of War is expected. And this one isn't confirmed, but I've seen a lot of sites claiming that because Microsoft have kicked off their conference before with Metal Gear Solid, that they might do the same for Phantom Pain. I don't know if there's some sort of deal with Sony or if they're closer to PlayStation or like with that respect, but
sure.
I don't know. But on the topic of Sony, they're going to be showing Until Dawn, which is a little bit like if you take Heavy Rain or Beyond Two Souls, and then you take that concept and turn it into a horror game where any character can die at any point, depending on whether you make smart decisions, whether the killer gets you, whatever. It's a little bit like, Scream, the playable game. People can just die off. Ratchet and Clank remastered version, No Man's Sky, Uncharted 4, Uncharted the Nathan Drake collection, Persona 5, and
so excited about Persona 5.
Project Morpheus, which some believe is going to be shown behind closed doors and isn't going to be on the conference, but there's no official confirmation of that. Squeenix, they've got Just Cause 3, Deus Ex Mankind Divided, Kingdom Hearts 3 is expected, Final Fantasy 15. And last but not least, PC Gaming Show, that's a new thing, isn't it? It wasn't there last year.
Yeah, it's brand new to E3.
All that I know about that is XCOM 2 is going to be shown to some degree, Overwatch, and Sword Coast Legends, which I don't actually know what that is. But yeah.
I'd say I don't know much about that one either. Let's have a quick look on the fly for Sword Coast Legends. XCOM. Did either of you play XCOM the original?
No.
Nope. So that's
right. Okay, was it just me? I put in a fair amount of time into that.
Are you excited about XCOM 2? That's the question.
Yeah.
Now they've said that it's going to specifically be a PC exclusive game, whereas XCOM the original was on consoles as well. And when you compare the original, the reboot of the series, because they rebooted it with this one. And they simplified it a hell of a lot from the original one. And I'm hoping that they're going to sort of bring it back to sort of the more original style of XCOM. Mm-hmm. And I played a lot of that game, but there was broken aspects of it. Like it used cover. However, there were certain circumstances where the aliens were able to shoot you through cover, and you're just like, hang on, what the fuck is this? And there was like certain camera angles where if your characters were in a certain spot, you couldn't necessarily move them to where you wanted to. So it had its bugs, but it was a fairly like enjoyable game, like from the experience that I had of it. But I just hope they sort of build on that. And actually
this is like you were like Fallout 3 wasn't as good as Fallout 2 because it lost this, and this. But Fallout 4 does the same as Fallout 2 did.
Being a gamer should be exciting. It shouldn't be depressing.
It should be exciting, and you know what, I hope that they do something good for the new XCOM. I mean, the premise of it is the fact that in the reboot they're going from the fact that the humans lost, and they're going on from that, which I think is awesome. And you know what, the humans might necessarily not have won it, because that could have been their first wave. They could have just had loads of stuff hiding about, and we just.
I do just want to say, and I'm 5 minutes late, but hey, Mahir Gaming, who joined the stream, and also,
Hi.
how do you guys feel about making a bet about Star Fox?
I don't feel that confident about it, to be honest. Because I've said every 3 consecutively for the last. You could make it a really Star Fox would be that year.
You could make a bet, but just make it really small losing/winnings, or depending on what.
Depends. Andy, do you think Star Fox is going to be there?
I'm not sure. No, I don't think so.
Because, right, I'll give you the things that we know about the new Star Fox game. It's definitely in development.
Actually, no, hang on. Yeah, Nintendo have spoken about it, haven't they?
Well, it's definitely in development. Last year at E3, during their Nintendo Direct, they showed a blurred out screen that was clearly Star Fox.
Is that just like playing like a...
That was Shigeru Miyamoto being like...
Yeah, just holding a controller.
And it was clearly Star Fox on the screen. And when they were showing off some Zelda gameplay, it was Miyamoto and Aonuma, and Aonuma said, "Are you going to have Star Fox done before Zelda?" And he said, "Yes, I'll definitely have Star Fox done before Zelda." That's all we know about it.
So with that taken into account, Andy, how confident are you that... I guess you could say it just as, do you think there will be... do you think that they will talk about it at all?
I don't think I'm confident enough to say that they're not going to talk about it there.
Okay.
I want to think that they will.
Because especially with like Zelda being pushed back as well. Like, it's just like, okay, so they've obviously got other stuff going on, but if they've already spoken really briefly about Star Fox and then pushed Zelda back, then does that mean that they're trying to concentrate more on that?
They're 2 entirely different studios. Like,
Are they?
It doesn't matter. They don't interfere with each other.
Then that obviously doesn't make any sense.
So, moving on from that, so we're not going to do a bet. Is that agreed that we're not going to?
I'll do a bet.
Okay, but
I bet that my heart will break either way. I would like to point out, Kinross is going to be fed up of hearing this, and so is everyone who listens to Permadeath. But I have been waiting for a new Star Fox game for 10 years now. Please, for the love of God, Nintendo, please make it happen, please.
That's all right. Okay, there's a bet in chat to UCD3AD that he says if Star Fox does not appear, he'll cosplay as Star Fox for you, Ebbie. So
I love UCD. Shout outs. You're my favourite.
So there you go. There's your bet. It seems to be a one-sided one, but
so just on the topic of stuff you're looking forward to, I want to know what each of us are looking from what we know that what is definitely confirmed or likely going to be shown at E3. What are we really looking forward to? What are the main games that we're going? I'm going to watch this E3 because of this, and this, or is there a lot of them as well? Besides Star Fox.
That many for me. There's not that many for me, I've got to be honest. Personally, I'm excited about maybe getting some news about Xenoblade Chronicles. If Shin Megami Tensei Crossfire Emblem is going to be there, I'm excited about that. I'm excited about Persona 5. I'm excited about Fallout 4, obviously. Kind of interested in what Ubisoft are going to reveal. And I'm also interested to see if Bethesda can sell me on the Elder Scrolls Online, because I played that game and I didn't like it that much.
It has changed from somebody who never played it when it first came out and started playing it a year later. I have enjoyed what I have played of it. I've also been told that it's completely different than what it was when it first
I will point out, I've only ever
ago.
played the game when it was in beta.
Yeah,
when it was
so
in
that was like a year
beta,
and a half ago or something, wasn't it?
That was a very long time ago, yeah.
So I think it's changed from what people, because I can't, say for certain because I never played it back then, but from what people have said, who have been playing it since then up to now or come back to it, it's completely different. And there's other stuff like the justice system, and there's
Are the Thieves Guild quests open yet?
I don't know. I think that's kind of tied to the justice system.
That was the one thing that will probably bring me back to that game at some point, is the Thieves Guild. I
think it was that was kind of tied to the justice system. I think. I don't know. I don't know enough to really...
Well, let's see if Bethesda can fill me in.
Hopefully. It's your chance. Your chance to, Bethesda.
It's your time to shine, Bethesda.
I feel like if Todd Howard's not at the Bethesda conference, I'm going to cry. Because he's the only face I know of Bethesda, and he's my favourite.
It's like get some intern to be like, hey, explain the game, come in. I started working here 2 weeks ago. The sandwiches in the cafeteria are quite nice. No, tell them about the game. Okay.
Why does he sound like Kermit the Frog?
I don't know. So is that your list?
That's pretty much the things that I'm excited for. Hopefully, on my wish list, just putting this out there, maybe Sleeping Dogs 2 Square Enix. I know it's not going to happen, but I'd really like that.
Alright, so me, XCOM 2, I'm interested in that. Fallout 4. You know what? I hate the fact that it's a timed exclusive.
Rise of the Tomb Raider. Yeah.
But the Rise of the Tomb Raider, because I really like the reboot of the Tomb Raider series, and I do want to see what they're going to do with the next one, and I kind of hope that they bring it back a bit towards the original style of Tomb Raider, where it's less of whereas they took a lot of the puzzles out of Tomb Raider and sort of put them into sort of mini side tombs, and I would like to see like some more of them put back into Tomb Raider. But I'd be interested in that to see when it comes out to PC. Overwatch, I'm keeping a very silent interest in that. I've not really looked into it too much. But
have you looked at any of the 6-minute gameplay previews of the characters?
I've not seen them for a while. I think I've only seen one of them.
There's a 6-minute preview of the Reaper. It just looks very much like Team Fortress 2. But
yeah, I'm
Blizzard's
interested.
Vision of that.
I'm interested in seeing what Blizzard do to sort of the TF2 style game, because they've done some interesting stuff. Like Blizzard know how to make games, and generally they polish them really well. So I'm interested to see what they do with that. Said Fallout, Battlefront. I'm interested to see a bit more of that, and I just hope it's not just going to be Battlefield with a Star Wars cover on it, which I'm kind of a bit worried about, especially as like the fact that they've said the AT-ATs, you're not going to be able to control them. They're just going to be very on like wire. So they're pretty much going to walk in there. You're not going to be able to control them as much as I'd potentially like to just go across the sort of battlefield in one and just be like, yeah, fuck everyone. I'm a massive AT-AT. And I don't know. I don't think it's going to happen. But another Hitman game. I'm just wondering if Skreenix is going to do anything with that.
Did you play much of Hitman Absolution? I think that's the last one that was a console title. Because they had the mobile game.
Yeah, Hitman Absolute. That was the 2012 one, wasn't it?
Yeah.
I played a fair amount of that. So it's been 3 years now, and like I mean, before that it was 6 years before Blood Money, and then a couple of years between that. So I mean, it's 3 to 4 years. It's a sort of about the right time if they're going to make another one, and it is a fairly popular series. I actually had a fair amount of fun with Absolution. I got stuck at one point and sort of couldn't get past it or any further.
I'm trying to remember what I played of that. There was I really liked. I think it was like a garden or something, and you put on like a greenhouse keeper clothes, and you
Wasn't that like the second level?
Yeah. I didn't play much of
You
it. I
didn't
played
get
like
very
I
far
played
at all.
like I played like
Oh
3
my
hours or
God.
something. I didn't really. I think it was one of those games that you put it down for one, you forget that you have it, and you forget your play. Yeah, it was one of those. Yeah, but yeah. Is there
And
anything else?
Xenoblade Chronicles X. I, I'm I'm on the fence about that one. Um, and I think it is just because they're sort of taking it away from sort of Xenoblade Chronicles, and it's not really going to be anything like that. And I'm still sort of part way through that game, and I've really enjoyed it. And I don't know how I feel. Like I say I've really enjoyed it. I really enjoyed the storyline of it, and I don't know how I feel like of them just starting again with different characters.
Oh,
Question.
I would like to point out that Xenoblade Chronicles is part of the Xenosaga
Yeah, I know that. I know
series.
that.
So, like, every game seems to be different.
I know that.
But it's got dinosaurs and robots that turn into tanks.
But
How is that not
look.
great?
I just got a really wise bit of advice. All right, regardless of whether we get a release date for the UK, let's not lose our heads though.
There is nothing that can stop me from pre-ordering that game because I get really, really finicky about JRPGs coming out in this country and them suddenly being available for a day and then you can't get them anymore. Like,
Have to be quick.
Yeah, so I'm pre-ordering that and Persona 5, like, can't stop me. Can't stop me.
Yeah, so I think that's oh, actually, Phantom Pain as well. Interested to see some more about that. I think I've had my fill about that already though.
Just imagine if they go. We've taken some leaves out of Ubisoft's book, and we're going to have it so that the amount of time you can hide under your cardboard box, you have to pay more money to. We're going to combine the free-to-play model in the pay-to-play, because that makes perfect sense. Yeah.
Yeah, sure.
I feel like Metal Gear Solid 6 might have that, but
Oh God.
Can I say Can I say the one thing that would make me want to buy Assassin's Creed Syndicate? You reminded me when you said
Spider-Man thing?
is it Connor? Is it Connor?
Well, I would buy it if it had Connor in it, but Connor is probably canonically dead at this point. So,
Can I just say,
the one thing that would make me want to buy that game is if they put the Assassin's Tombs from Assassin's Creed 2 back in them. That would make me really, really, really happy.
do you know what I've noticed about you, Ebbie? Is you always seem to like the least popular characters and everything, like The Walking Dead. You're like, everybody hated this person, but I like them. No, I'm not. I'm not
spoils of The Walking Dead. Oh my God!
I'm not Ebbie. I'm not going to say anything.
Actually, kill you.
But so she's like, oh, everyone hates this character. I like that character. And then like Assassin's Creed, she's like, everyone hated Connor, but I liked him. So I feel like everybody.
He's my favorite. Legitimately, Connor is my favorite video game character of all time, and everyone fucking despises him for some reason.
Yeah.
I'm always up for a good underdog.
Team Connor.
Team Connor.
Right. I guess I should. Quite a few of mine are from what Andy's already mentioned, but I've got some other ones like the new Mirror's Edge game. I think that has actually been that came out a year before Fallout 3 did. I think 2007. And this is like the new game, and from what they've shown, which was like pre-alpha footage, the people joke about like, oh, it's meant to be about parkour, and now Faith is just like a kung fu expert, like because you didn't spend it like in the first game. You couldn't. Usually, if someone was shooting you, you'd die if you tried to fight them. It's best to run away and get away. But from what they've shown, it looks like it's really easy to take on multiple enemies. Like you run up a wall and kick them in the head and then roll and then attack another one. So people aren't liking the fact that there's more involvement in combat because they want Faith to be, that she uses parkour to her advantage and she uses it to get away from situations rather than... Because that's what Mirror's Edge should be about, really. So I'm interested to see how that's going to turn out. Need for Speed. I haven't really been interested in Need for Speed since about 2006. That's when I lost interest because I only really like the street racer type games they used to do back in the day. And this game looks like they're going back to that. It's not made by the people who made Burnout because the Criterion or whatever they fucked up Need for Speed so badly. And yeah, it's been rebooted. It's been called Need for Speed, and they haven't done that since its initial release. Fallout 4, obviously, I'm also looking forward to that. Star Wars Battlefront, I'm kind of wary about that because of some of the stuff they've they've talked about all the stuff that's not going to be in the game. I want to hear about the stuff that is going to be in it. Assassin's Creed Syndicate, because I'm a bit of a AC fanboy, so I am looking forward to that. Halo 5 Guardians, I'm interested to see how that's going to turn out. I played the multiplayer beta, and it's a lot more faster paced. You can now aim down sights, which is like new for Halo. You usually just have hip fire. They've got some other interesting things about if your health only regenerates if you're not running. So if you're normally in a Halo game, if you just don't get hurt for a while, your health regenerates. If in Halo 5, for example, if you're in a firefight and you can say, "Oh, I'll stay and fight and try and take him out," or "I'll run away." Now, if I run away, if they manage to shoot me before I can get away, then I'm dead. But if I can run away, get out of sight, out of mind, and then I can kind of hide around the corner, get my health back, and try again. So it's not like while you're running away you're regaining health, because that's a bit unfair, and that's the way it used to be. Although you couldn't really sprint, so it wasn't much of an issue. But Xenoblade Chronicles X. I've never played one, admittedly, but from what I saw, they showed it last year's E3, didn't they?
I'm gonna get you on the Xenoblade train. You need to get Xenoblade Chronicles, Matt.
He doesn't have a new 3DS though.
Yes,
you need to get a new 3DS, and then you need to get Xenoblade Chronicles.
But
it is taking place in an entirely different thing, so I don't see anything wrong with starting with X rather than.
Because I got my Wii U. I got my Wii U at the beginning of April, so I've only had it really for just over 2 months. And all I've really played a ridiculous amount of Mario Kart 8 and Splatoon, which I played a ridiculous amount of. And I want more games to play in it because I've really enjoyed. I don't regret buying a Wii U. Say what you want by looking at sales figures and all that nonsense, but I've really enjoyed buying it, and I'm glad I bought one, and I've had a lot of fun with it. Yeah, and from what I saw, I would like to see more of it, and I'd like to see whether I might be interested in picking it up. So I don't know. Gears of War, the new one that they're working on.
You missed out Star Fox. Sorry, I fixed that for you.
I haven't got to the end of my list yet. So yeah, Gears of War, Mass Effect, the new Mass Effect, which we haven't really seen much of, but I'm kind of interested to see how that turns out. Overwatch, just like Andy, kind of intrigued about that one. And other than Splatoon DLC, it's not really DLC, but content updates, what you want to call it. Rainbow Six Siege that Ubisoft showed off last E3, because that kind of seems like I'd enjoy that game quite a bit. And it kind of seems like a fresh idea on a shooter, or a first-person shooter at least.
I'll be glad when The Division has a release date, because then they can stop talking about it every E3.
Yeah, that will be good. But I'm kind of disappointed that I know CD Projekt Red aren't going to be talking about Cyberpunk 2077. Because I'm really intrigued at what that game's going to offer us, and we're not going to hear from it for another 2 years or something.
Well, you've just got The Witcher. I think you're alright.
Yeah, I know, but that game's the premise of it has interested me more than The Witcher, just because it's set. I just want to
one other thing, which won't be at E3, but I'd like to hear some sort of mention of it. And you can block your ears for this for the next 20 seconds. Borderlands 3. You didn't get a chance to. Borderlands 3, because they were ready to start working on it at the beginning of this year, and they have been hiring they're supposedly hiring loads of new people to come and work on the project. So they're expanding their team, and it probably won't be coming out for another 2 or 3 years. But a lot of people are hyped for that, and I'm one of them, just to see how it turns out and whether I'm gonna pick up a copy. But yeah, Andy can. It's back on.
Was there actually any spoilers in that, or was it just something?
No,
Yeah,
it
we
was
just
just
spoiled the entire plot of The Walking Dead.
Oh, okay,
Yeah.
fine. Bastard.
Also, I just you guys talk. I'm going to go order a Monster energy drink hat.
I have a razor hat, razor.
I should just go. I should just go
Right.
Razor blade on the hat.
I'll go join. I'll get Optic carved in my head, and then I'll join Call of Duty clan.
No, you
Yeah.
need to just hark it back to the late 90s where they had Nike emblems shaved
Oh,
into
yeah.
heads.
Dude.
Oh no! They just get Shia LaBeouf with a tick. Just do it. Yeah. So that was all the ones. Yeah. Okay. Star Fox. Well, I'm not really excited because I didn't really. I think I played a
How
tiny
is
bit
no
of it
one
when I was.
I swear to God, everybody.
Because
played
I was
Violet
not a
Wars when I was a
Nintendo-
kid. No, literally,
The only-
everybody I knew had played Lilac Wars as a kid, and now every time I'm like, oh, I'm so excited about a new Star Fox, everyone's like, don't know, I never played it. I'm like, what the fuck happened to all these people? Did they just die or something?
Well, no,
I don't
I-
understand.
64, so.
Oh,
The only
I need a break.
Nintendo, the only that was quite a lot to take in. The only Nintendo systems I really owned when I was younger, before, because I didn't even have a game. I played them my friends' GameCubes, and I had just the handheld ones like Game Boy Color, Game Boy Advance, DS. I've got 3DS. I've always had the Nintendo handheld stuff, but I didn't get into Nintendo's home consoles until I'd played on them, but I didn't own one myself until the Wii, and then I didn't really get along with the Wii for that. Well, I sold it quite shortly after, which wasn't for me with the motion controls. Now I've got a Wii U, and I've been joining that. But yeah, I don't know. There was when you're young, there's so much coming out, so many games and systems, and you can't really afford to get them all when you're younger. So you have to kind of pick.
Lilac Wars got remade on the 3DS.
Is that a hint for me to buy it by any chance?
Both of you should play it.
I heard.
No, I actually asked you. I was like, "Do you like on-rail shooters?" And you were like, "No, not really." And I'm like, "Yeah, don't bother then."
Chat has just confirmed that Half-Life 3 will be announced.
No,
E3,
that was what I was talking about. I was talking about when you set your headphones off. I was talking about Half-Life 3.
Half-Life 3
about
confirmed.
my sources.
Okay.
So we didn't want to spoil that for you.
Was
We
that
also talked
Heinz?
about Walking Dead Season 3. Where Carl gets a rocket and he flies to the moon. So I think it's time to talk about what we predicting. What are predictions? Actually,
really
before the predictions,
boring.
actually, can I get just a run through? How many predictions have each of you actually got? Because then I think I've got probably one too many, and I can cut mine down. You got two.
Got two.
I've
Can you
only
make
got
three?
a couple.
Because then we could just do
Probably,
our top
I
three.
could probably wing three. All right.
Sure.
Okay.
I'll let you two
This
go
is
first.
this is what the build up to the really crap build up to E3 has caused. Lack of predictions and fun with that. Do you want me to go first?
Yeah, go for it.
Okay. Actually, before I do my actual predictions, one that I'm not confident will get announced, but I would actually
One I'm not confident they're going to get announced, but I'm going to predict it anyway.
No. Actually, Andy, if you just listen, I said before I talk about my predictions.
Just give it to me so I can try and spin it.
Before I talk about my predictions, I'm going to talk about my predictions.
Carry on.
Yeah. So one that I'd like to be true, but probably won't be for a few years now, is Battlefield Bad Company 3. Because they said that they would like to make that at some point, and it's definitely something they want to do. They just don't know how to go about it yet, and they want to get other games out first. So we'll see.
I absolutely love that about EA. The fact that they're like, people really loved our game.
Let's not make.
we can't figure out why they liked it. So we're just not going to make a sequel to it.
Maybe that's
Yeah.
what happened with Sleeping Dogs. Like, we're like,
That-
oh, there's a sequel for Sleeping Dogs coming out, and then release Triad Wars for fucking mobile.
Yeah.
But you know, that's why people who like racing games are finally kind of getting back on the Need for Speed, ship. It's because everyone was like, Underground 3, please. Because they're like Underground 1 and 2 were like their most popular games by far. And it was like, oh no, we're going to bring this game out. It's going to be whatever, Most Wanted or not Most Wanted, whatever the last one was last year, Rivals or Undercover, whatever those ones. And it's like, Underground 3, please, next year. Underground 3, please, next year. Underground 3, please. And then now that they've got this reboot, they said, yeah, this is inspired by Underground 1 and 2. And everyone was like, yes, you fucking listened. Or at least we hope they have. But it seems like this is a common thing for them just to be like, oh, people really like this game. They want more of it. Let's give them something they don't really want. Let's not listen to them. For fuck's sake. Sorry.
You're in chat.
Oh, okay. Okay, but I'll get to my predictions now. I need something to distract me. My predictions. I had 4, but I cut it down to 3. I think I know what one of yours is, so I'm gonna try and cut out. Okay. Dark Souls 3 is that one of yours? I think that's going to be announced. I think also, actually, I should give a rundown with this predictions. You have to state a rough release date based on season, so like spring, summer, winter, fall, and the year. So like, I don't know, fall 2016 or something like that. You don't have to do it so that if there's any disputes about like, oh well, you said the 15th, I said the 16th. If
there's any disputes, what are we making like the bets? I bet my flat. That,
well, we know what happened. I'm just going about it carefully because of the mess that was the Fallout bet.
Fine. Fine.
So yeah, so if you get one, we're going to do a point system as well. So you get 1 point if your prediction is correct, and 1 point if you got the release date correct. 0 points if it was all wrong. So Dark Souls 3, I think, is going to be announced, and I think a winter 2015 release. So that's like
wow, that's soon.
That's going to like January.
I have to say, I completely disagree with that. If that is gonna, I don't think if they're gonna do it, I reckon it's gonna be well into 2016.
Yeah,
so you're thinking early
like
2016,
like early,
sort of. Well, I reckon sort of spring, autumn, 2016.
So a lot
if
of
they're
people
gonna do it.
A lot of people are saying spring 2016. Now, when I say winter, I mean this is running to like January as well. So I reckon January 2016, if I was to be more specific. But it's like that kind of. Only reason. Let me say why. I think that they would try and catch the Christmas thing, or they try and do it just after when people have, like kids, not kids because people get to buy it.
After Dark Souls.
Yeah, it's dogs. They can be like, Mummy, can I buy Dark Souls? They'd be like, fuck off. Yeah, but that's just a bold one I had. The other one, I'm quite confident about this one. Red Dead Redemption 2, or the next Red Dead game. Rockstar were going to say. That's what we're working on.
Red Dead 3, wouldn't it?
Red Dead 3, technically. But I said the Redemption 2, but I know people would get like, there's actually 2 games.
Yeah, I'm just putting that out there so no one gets that.
I know, yeah. I already know that. But yeah, like there'll be a new Red Dead game announced, probably spring 2016, because Rockstar like to release their games during that time every year. They did for the GTA games for 4 and 5. Okay. And my final prediction is Watch Dogs 2.
Oh, you fuck!
Damn it!
I can change it. I've got another one.
Because I know what the other one is,
Okay.
and it's another one of mine.
No, it's not. It's not. But yeah,
it's fine. I'll just make up some bullshit one.
Watch Dogs 2. But the release date. This is interesting. If we're all going to have different release dates. I think fall 2015.
Really?
So that's September to November. I think.
You know what? If they do it,
I mean, they've released Assassin's Creed every year, and they refuse to take a break. So it wouldn't surprise me if they released
That's true.
Watch Dogs 2 that soon. I'm basing it off of the company's history as well and the way they act.
Yeah, they'd want to get it out before the Christmas rush. You make fair points.
I
They
mean,
need to-
if we look in November, that is a fairly empty window this year.
It won't be by the time E3.
Is it?
No, at the moment it's fairly empty.
Yeah, it's probably gonna. A lot of games come out in November usually, don't they? Yeah, they just need to do like just Ubisoft. Just on a side note, they need to do what EA have done with Need for Speed. Just take a year off and then bring one. 2 years later, it can do a lot of help to just. Take
I really
a year.
think Assassin's Creed needs that break as well after Unity. I really,
Yeah.
really, truly think that it needs that break.
They even admitted that Unity was like in the video about Syndicate, the gameplay, when they like did the reveal. They're like, yeah, people. They said it's like being a kid and being called fat and ugly, and then you have to accept it or something like that. Like in terms of their game being a really crap condition and stuff. But it's the fact they fully acknowledged that it was bad and that they rushed it. So it's like, well, what do you do in that state? Will we release a game next year?
Yeah.
No.
Forget about Unity. No one needs to fix that mess. Okay.
I did enjoy it for what it was, but it was, it wasn't what it should have been by any stretch.
Maybe Syndicate will be.
Who knows? We have to speak to bloody Nora. Well, that's the way they sound in the game. The one funny thing actually is people going, but why don't they have French accents? Because in Unity, all the French people had like London accents. Yeah, English accents. But yeah, those are my three: Watch Dogs 2, fall 2015; Dark Souls 3, like winter time, January next year maybe; Red Dead new game, spring 2016.
Can I go next? Because I feel like Andy's going to steal one of mine.
Okay, get them out quick.
Right. Obviously, one of them is Star Fox for me. Look, it hasn't technically been announced, so I'm allowed it.
Fine.
And I think it'll be released in fall of this year.
And I know what the next one you're going to say.
Next one is Dishonored 2.
Oh, actually, release date for Star Fox. Just give a rough one that you think might be most likely.
What, like?
Just of when you think a release would be.
I said fall.
I say fall. Oh, okay.
Yeah, I said fall this year.
Because I mean, like,
I think it'll be just before Christmas. Basically.
Well, basically, Nintendo have said that they're not going to talk about anything that's not going to be released in 2015 at E3. So if they announce it, it's going to be this year. So it's either going to be fall, winter, or autumn, winter, as we're in English. No one likes fall.
Yeah, but you got to say fall because then you can be like, Fallout Falls, come in and fall.
And all the E3 things will say fall anyway because,
My next one is Dishonored 2. I honestly don't know anything about Dishonored. I've never played it, but I just feel like if Bethesda are doing a conference, Dishonored was really popular, they will probably announce a second one. I'm assuming since people have asked for a sequel before that there is room for one. In the universe or whatever. And I want to say maybe spring 2016. I'm not sure on that one though. And since I had to make one up and then I made up Watch Dogs 2 and then Matt stole it, I'll go make up another one.
No, you can have that one and just do a different release date. I mean, that's fine.
Oh, can I just say, like, my dream release to come out of E3 would be LA Noire 2. When you said Red Dead 3, I was like, yeah. LA Noire 2.
It probably will happen, just not yet. It's probably too soon.
I want it though. I want it so bad.
When did it come out? The first.
Hold up.
2013.
Hold up.
It was a year after Max Payne, or a year before. One of them.
Stay on the fucking book.
Should say at the bottom.
2006 to 2011?
2011 then. It would have been, yeah. So it's been 4 years. Yeah, Rockstar usually wait 5 years plus, don't they, before?
I would love that to be a thing. I would really love that to be a thing, because LA Noire is like my favourite Rockstar game. I think it's awesome. But yeah, Watch Dogs 2 would be the other one, I guess.
Release date?
I think 2016, probably, maybe. I think they'll aim for spring and it'll come out in summer.
Spring 20...
get delayed.
Okay, spring 2016 get delayed. Okay.
That's my guess. Very specific, but yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Sorry, when was Dishonored? What did you say? Do you think that would be?
Did I say spring? Or did I say fall 2016? Have to watch it back. I don't remember.
Yeah, I think it was.
You know that prediction I made about 5 minutes ago? That date.
I literally have no idea. I'm just pulling dates out of a hat. Go on then, Andy.
Okay, so I mean, Dishonored 2, like 2014, was actually sort of there was a rumor that came out that it was going to come out in 2016 at some stage, and Bethesda refused to comment on rumors or speculation about that.
As they do.
As they do.
But we
They
will
just
link things
occasionally,
on.
when stuff's going on, they're like, we would like to point out that Bethesda does not comment on rumor or speculation.
No,
So-
I like
There's
that
a
they
lot of
say.
speculation going on right now.
Do you know what's funny is they say we don't comment on rumors or speculation, and then as soon as somebody goes, "Oh, this was on a LinkedIn profile," take it down now. Yeah, that's really not commenting. Is it?
That wasn't them though. They didn't try.
I know, but the fact that they reached, or who was it?
That was the company that was behind the trailer.
Oh yeah, because they're going to get sued.
They were just like, you should probably remove that article because you're breaking a NDA.
That
Here.
just makes the situation
Which is just
worse.
confirmation, isn't it? That
Yeah,
just
exactly. It makes it worse.
confirms everything. Dickheads. So, God, I was gonna say Watch Dogs and Dishonored. I already said Hitman. So I reckon that
I see.
Hitman's
So
going to be
that's
my prediction, which is going to be, oh God, when would that be? Probably summer 2016. I don't think it's going to come out this year. Probably, actually no, spring, summer. I think next year.
I can't do that because then that's like 2 seasons. Spring, summer.
Okay, fine. I'm going to go spring then. Spring.
Okay.
I'm gonna go
Still both
spring.
fine.
And so
I
that's
kinda-
Hitman. Watched
that's-
Dishonored 2.
Dishonored.
Final
I mean,
one.
I really would like there to be another Time Splitters game, but that's not going to happen.
Dude, that would be amazing.
Time Splitters was one of my like favorite games on the PlayStation 2.
There was actually a group of modders, I think, who were developing like a fan project of remaking Time Splitters or remaking the original one.
Oh, yeah.
Were they? I know that one.
Because there was also one for the original Halo, like a proper full remaster. But the rules is sort of some of these developers, they say that's okay, you can do that, but you have to make all of the assets yourself. Like some of the issues is where they, like with the Halo one, it's like you can make them, you have to make them yourself. You can't steal our assets to make it. And you also can't profit off it, I think, as well. That's the kind of usual rules. So I don't know what the status is on that or how much, but I guess you've got to remember there's only a few people like working on it as a hobby, and that's going to take a long time to do. But there's definitely something going on with that, even if it's not official. So is that your prediction, Time Splitters?
So it's not a prediction. It's more of a one. The chances of Time Splitters actually happening is so low, seeing as Free Radical went into they got bought out after they went into administration, like 2009, I think it was, and then Crytek took over, and basically they said we're not entirely sure if people want the next Time Splitters game. We're not sure what the market is for it. So I don't think it's gonna. That's a one.
Meanwhile, like they just go, I don't think people want this. Just meanwhile, like, oh, maybe we should learn from the other companies. There's one going, Bad Company 3, and there's other going, Underground 3, and then Half-Life 3. Oh, we don't know if people want.
I'm just wondering if, and again, this is a complete stab in the dark, but just because of what's happened in the past, another game in the BioShock series. Now, obviously, Ken Levine's sort of left the studios now, and Irrational sort of went a bit down the toilet. But 2K still owns
someone still owns the license though.
2K still own the license to it, and they did say, hey, we're we're thinking of doing some more in the series, and I'm just wondering if that'll creep up. So I'm gonna say a Bioshock game again.
So you're going to replace that with the Time Splitters one.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. The Time Splitters.
Keeping track of this, Matt.
Yeah. Sorry. I'm going to talk about I'm going to talk about a prediction. Oh, so I'll talk about Time Split. So is that a prediction? No, it's not a prediction.
I'm just trying to confuse it as much as possible, so it messes with Matt's mind and his memory, so he can't call it back and call me on this.
I don't need memory. I can watch it back.
So I'm going to say something Bioshock related, early next year.
How early? Spring.
Yeah, I'm going to go spring again.
Spring 2016.
So two springs, and then Watch Dogs.
Okay, is that 4 now?
Is that Fallout?
No, is that 4 now? Is that 4 predictions you've got? Because I'm sure you said Dishonored 2, Bioshock.
No, I was just confirming what I said about Watch Dogs.
Oh, so Watch Dogs isn't one of them. This is so confusing. Can you just state what your 3 predictions are?
What was your other prediction? I've forgotten already.
All I know so far is a prediction is Bioshock, Spring 2016.
Hitman.
Hitman.
2016.
2016.
Yeah.
You're swearing at me, sir, and I don't appreciate it. You're like, Hitman.
But 2!
Hitman. There we go.
No, you need 3. You need another one.
Fuck. Okay.
If it's not Watch Dogs or Time Splitters.
More Dishonored.
What's that?
More Dishonored.
More Dishonored. More Dishonored.
Hang on, wasn't that already one of them?
Yeah. You know what? I'm breaking the mold.
It's starting to duplicate. So you're going to go for 2?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm just going to go with those.
You sure you don't just want to take a gamble with Watch Dogs and say something for the sake of being lucky?
I feel like it is. There is going to be something Watch Dogs related. They're going to make another one of that. Seeing as didn't they say that was going to be one of their staple franchises as well?
Okay. Well, if we just take that as a 3rd, but then you also give a release window.
Watch Dogs end of year, winter 2015.
Winter is coming. We stopped talking about my haircut.
Smoke weed every day.
Yeah, Snoop Dogg. So I just get this straight. Before we summarise all of that, I got a Monster Energy drink hat, and I listen to Smoke Weed every day.
So,
anything else?
Did you just say
and a shirt. Oh, and a shirt that says swag.
Can we please dress you up like that?
I'll go there for EGX. It'll be my cosplay. Yeah.
Is that it?
Yeah. So let me just summarise because I feel like I need to do this for Andy. Watch Dogs 2. Winter is coming. Dishonored. Dishonored was that? Yeah. Dishonored 2. What was that? The release for that? Spring as well. Spring.
Yeah. So yeah. Yep.
So that, and then what's the other one?
Hitman. Spring.
Hitman.
16.
Okay. Well, I'm glad we got through that.
That would.
Yeah, that's our predictions. That's what we thought of E3. Hopefully, you've enjoyed this live version of the Spawn Point. Hopefully, if you'd like to see more live streamed episodes of it, then let us know in the comment section. And other comments about the haircut can be left out of the comment section.
Just leave all of them in the comment section.
Do you just watch me afterwards just go down and delete? Where did they all go? No,
unfortunately, chat gets deleted after the stream.
Oh, does it?
We won't see that. Yeah.
Oh, what a shame.
But I think there needs to be some plugs at the end of this. So
plugs.
Follow me on Twitter.
Hang on. You say
he's going to get a plug, isn't he?
Yeah.
For fuck's sake. I was trying to look for one. I was like, I'm so smart.
Twitter, Ryu101, RYW101. Matt, that's my only plug.
Okay, mine is
I think Ebbie's
twitter.com / swag monstered energy. No, Victor Matt J. That's JAY. That's all I have to promote. Apart from subscribe to the Retro Gaming channel.
Oh, yeah, of course.
And
Subscribe to this channel.
Facebook and Twitter. There's one for that as well. So go on there. Show some love.
Alright, here's my plugs. Twitter.com/BizarreJelly5. YouTube.com/BizarreJelly5. Also, I have an online anime club, which is youtube.com/Oko Anime Club. And I'm also here now.
You can't plug yourself for the show that you're currently on because
I will.
Yes. We'll break all the rules.
Don't you have some plugs coming up in the next week though, Ebbie?
3DS charger,
God.
TV.
What's the thing? YouTube.com/Permadeath Podcast, where we'll be doing live streams that accompany the E3 live streams, so you'll see our live reactions to the conferences. Thanks.
Yeah, that's a very important one.
Oops.
I'm going to sell that for you.
Okay. So I'm gonna go drink a Monster Energy drink. Andy, I don't know what you're gonna go try and confuse people with your predictions and come up with about 50 more that the same game. And Ebbie can be a squid now.
But
Yep.
Or a kid.
is she a kid or is she a squid? That's the question.
A skid. Okay, yeah. This has been episode 40 of the Spawn Point podcast. We will see you after E3. We'll be talking about what we thought of E3 and some of the stuff that, whether we got our predictions right or horribly wrong, who got the most right, and just everything we thought about E3, really. But until then, it is goodbye.
Bye.
See you later, guys.
Over.